Okay, so I went in and I watched a couple of these astrology people. I didn't find the one girl, that lady, Lady Dechevna or whatever her name is, who she shared the other day. But there's a difference too in the charts because, they've messed with the calendar and stuff. So the Vedic astrology says it's the accurate astrology, and then there's other ones beyond that. So, there's different things, but still, like if you go in and listen to different people, they're going to say things a little different. Like the one girl I went and listened to, she was talking about this is going to be super intense, and it's the way that the planets are going to align. See, she said that it hasn't aligned since this alignment since 1835 or something. And she said it's a once in a lifetime alignment, and it's going to be stuff that is being brought up in us, seeing the truth, and having things brought up to heal. That's why I keep talking about with all this stuff. Everything is to bring up stuff for us to heal. And so she was talking a lot about that. And like I said, I swear to God, you have to be a mathematician to understand some of the stuff they say, or scientific. The stuff is so complex that they talk about. To me, in my brain, it just is like, wah, 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 wah. I'll hear little things. Oh, okay, I understand that part. But, I'm not somebody who completely understands all of astrology. I just know astrology has a lot to do with our world. And so this other lady, the Southern lady that I've talked about before, her name's Joni, and she looks like a Southern belle. She's got the big blonde hair and the makeup and stuff. So you should be able to find her pretty easy if you want to watch some of hers. But she was saying, like, I was really interested in the stuff she was saying, because she was saying how the planets are about to line up. And she was talking about how they're going to line up on the 4th or 5th. So, and she's Vedic astrology. So I was thinking the other lady, she maybe is, whatever the other one's called. I think there's a couple different ones based on different things. Like if I go in and I do my regular chart, it would say I'm Sagittarius ascending. If I do a Vedic chart, it says I'm Scorpio ascending. So, each person's chart is specific to their own life. Like if you go in and you do your whole chart, which obviously you can't just do the one, you have to do the Vedic one. You have to do them both and then see. But if you do your whole chart, then it will give you a better idea of your life plan and what you're here to work on and when you're going to work on it and how the planets are going to line up and stuff. It's very interesting. But so she was talking about how the planets are lining up like around the 4th or 5th. And she also said, it doesn't, that the planets are going to align, like they can't change that stuff. They can change like the days and stuff like that, but how they're going to align is how they're going to align. And so she was saying that they haven't aligned like how they're about to since, she said, first 1992. She always goes back and looks. That's why I always find fascinating with her. But so in 1992, it was during she just said it. It was after the trial for Denny, after the cops were let off, and everything just blew up. Like they started burning down LA. And like I remember it, I'm sure there's a lot of other people who remember, I was living there when it was going on. And so when they were doing the whole thing of the riots back then, after that whole big situation happened, that was the planetary alignment we're about to have. And then she said, if you go back to the one before that, when they lined up, it was in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So think about the energy for the Cuban Missile Crisis and how there was fear and drama and all of that coming to the surface. So violence, fear, all coming to the surface. Then she went back to when they lined up before that, and it was 1932, I think she said, when Hitler became the Fuhrer. So, I always have to say his name wrong because you're not allowed to say it. So you have to say some of these names wrong because you'll get flagged. There's certain things you're not allowed to talk about. So anyways, it is when he became in power. So it was the beginning of a lot of intense stuff. So no matter what, all of these different ones that are saying that these huge dramas that are about to occur. And she even did the chart on the Ukraine, and which I don't even know how much we're allowed to say that word, but she said that it was very, very intense. It was the highest degree of where these two planets are going to confront each other. And it's like two warring planets coming together, and that it's going to be, I may be explaining it wrong, but you can go in and you can, listen to them yourself if you're interested. And so that everything is going to come to a head, like she was saying. There's going to be something really big and significant that's going to happen within a week or so in the place that they already have this big explosion going on that, we don't really even know what's happening unless we're right there. And that's another thing. Remember, like even in the riots in LA, it didn't affect people in Kentucky or Alabama or New York or whatever. It wasn't affecting everyone. There's certain places where the things will affect the people more intensely. But that same energy is still going to be a part of what's going on in the collective and in our personal lives. So what they were saying, there'll be a lot of fear, a lot of truth, a lot of things coming to the surface that we will have to deal with and see and heal. And then it's going to, with the planets changing, it goes into this period of healing time. So, I'm really hoping that this is our Cuban Missile Crisis that we've been waiting for, because even Juan had talked about that so long. So when she said this is when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened all that time ago, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a little synchronistic kind of event on the calendar right there, because he was talking about all the time when when David Rodriguez would be interviewing him, and he was constantly saying that we're going to have a Cuban Missile Crisis. We're going to have the Cuban Missile Crisis. Then everything's going to turn around. Well, I thought, that's interesting that she said this week, this energy coming up was played out in the Cuban Missile Crisis before. So, that to me seems like a good sign, but, we got to just keep seeing, because everything is going to affect all the different areas differently. But we will still have something in our own self that we'll need to heal, even if it's not something in a big event that happens in our area or changes everything, which I'm still hoping this is the big change. But that there will still be stuff for us personally. And she did the Queen's chart, which I'm pretty sure the Queen is a long time ago, that they're just holding out the information like they did with RBG, because they use things to their benefit. It doesn't matter when the person dies, like how significant it is to our life, because they're not really the person in control. The puppet masters are behind them, and they'll release what information they want released when they want it released. So the thing with the Queen, I think she's already gone, but whatever. In the chart, it definitely looked like this was the end of her. Like she was like, there's going to be something that's going to happen that's very significant in regards to her health or something. So it could be very well the announcement of her death, or if she's not dead already, that it is her transition time. But whatever is going to happen, there's going to be some big stuff that's going to be happening. And since we don't really know where and when and how and stuff like that, then we all have to just be on guard, you know? Don't go out and just play like everything is all fine and dandy. We have intense things happening. We have a war happening is between good and evil, and that's all around us. So it's not just happening, you know, over by Russia like they're trying to tell us. No, it's everywhere. I mean, I have military planes going over me all day long, and I'm sure it's because I'm at the border, but I really don't think the Canadians are running across the border. So, you know, there's a reason why these military planes are going over all the time. So, and I don't know what it is, but, you know, I've talked about it long enough to, you know, that it's definitely happening. And so if it is, you know, this big event that is happening, you know, our Cuban Missile Crisis, which, you know, that would be our big dramatic event that I've talked about. Like something big is going to happen that's going to just wake everybody up. And then we're going to go into that time of healing. So, of course, I pay attention to when I hear that kind of stuff in the charts, because this is what I believe is going to happen. And when I hear people like Juan or, you know, these insiders supposedly talking about these things, then it catches my attention. So I'm feeling, you know, good about, like, hopefully that this is going to be where we finally get at, you know, the ship's going to start going the other direction for us. And that one thing too is keep in mind when you go and listen to any of these people, even like astrology, or I have heard so many tarot people, you know, all of these different people who are out there, you know, claiming spiritual community and, you know, inner knowledge of things like that, but they don't see things. They don't see all of the truth, you know, like with her, Joni, I'm pretty sure it was, she said that there's going to be a big instability in Wall Street. There's something with the money that is going to suddenly just go, like it's going to be a big dramatic event about the money. Well, if we understand about the Jubilee and about the money going back to the people, and of course the Wall Street has to collapse, the banking system has to collapse, because it's part of the enslavement to what keeps us trapped in the system. So that is a part of that's the hand of God coming in to remove this so that we can have this freedom again. And so when they're saying like this big dramatic thing is going to happen about the money, but then she said, but don't worry, it'll get better. You know, Wall Street will fix itself. No, we don't want Wall Street to fix itself. That's what I'm saying. So when you go and you hear some of these people talk, don't get all caught up in every little thing that they say. Take general information, but find where it overlaps with other information. Don't just get stuck on like, this person says this and this is what's going to be and blah, blah, blah. No, go in and look up all the different things like I keep talking about. There's so much information. You layer it on top of each other and find where it crosses. Because I do not believe at all that Wall Street is going to bounce back. I believe that this is the crash of the banking system. It's the crash of the whole financial, currency that everybody has been using all across the globe. It's not just Wall Street and the dollar, but it's going to also have effect of all currency, because we will become our own currency. Our value is going to change. It's not going to be based on this money system anymore. It's not going to have the same significance or impact, but it has to be released from us. We have to let it go. That's why I say when this stuff starts happening, let it go. Let it go. Do not hold on. Do not think like, oh my God, now my house is worth nothing. Oh my God, now I've got no money. Now I've got no retirement, because there's going to be a shift. Yeah. It's going to come back, just like these people who are talking about the maritime law and about the birth certificates and our numbers and stuff like that, that we all have a cash value. You know, it's sad to say, but we all have a cash value. And I believe that that is going to come back to us. I've heard all sorts of things like all the taxes we ever paid will come back to us. This cash value on our birth certificate will come back to us. There'll be something that will be the Jubilee where something will go back. It won't just be the release from debt. That will be a great, great thing for everybody to, surrender. Like, I don't know, no longer do I owe this debt. It's done, because they have to, they have to wave their white flag. They can't do anything else. They've run out of their games. They're just playing with paper. And so don't hold on to it, and don't go into crisis or something. Be prepared, like I've talked about before. The paper isn't going to have any value. Have something that has value. The not heavy metals, like gold, silver, platinum, anything that has actual thing that you can hold in your hand that has value, because the value of those things are going to go up. Because right now they're suppressing that so that they can make the money have value. But they use this other stuff. They just don't give it to us. It's all in there. You can look up more. There's tons of stuff you can go watch about the finance and banking system and when it started, how it started, all of the bullshit. But the best thing is it's ending. They're collapsing themselves because they're greedy, and, it's part of the changing of the ages, because it's not what the Age of Aquarius is going to be about. Age of Aquarius is going to be about us discovering ourselves, exploring this world in a new kind of way of being, and not in this, trapped enslavement, someone else always holding something over our heads. We're moving out of that kind of energy. So as all these things are happening, just release them, but be prepared, know that this stuff is going to be happening. And since we can't pinpoint exactly where or, the hour or whatever, it could be a lot of different events, but it's going to have things that are going to seem really scary. And you got to keep in with yourself, stay centered. Don't get caught up in the fear. Don't get caught up in the illusion. Let it go, and keep in mind it's just an illusion. It's just a game. It's just a play. It's just a program. And that is going to, it's ending. It's like the series finale, So we got to just release it and let it go. And, but anyways, it's still, all of these different ones is still showing, big signs that something big is about to happen. And it's going to be very dramatic. And so, we just have to wait and see. But just keep in mind that, to work on whatever is coming up for you, that is, the planets are aligning for you to bring this stuff up. So don't hold it down. Don't distract yourself. Don't do things that would keep this stuff inside of you. You want to release it. You want to let things go. And you want to let all of the burdens released from you. There's no reason for us to carry so much burdens. It's heavy and it brings us down. So we want to release all of this stuff. So let things go as they come up. And, it's going to affect relationships and stuff. But remember, when you are dealing with people, be honest, be authentic. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be cruel. You don't have to play games and be passive aggressive. You just have to be authentic, be honest, be vulnerable, allow yourself to show yourself, and don't live in fear. Let the things come up. And just because someone doesn't understand what's going on, it's just because they're still so caught in the illusion that they don't understand. But this is all going to bring things up. So more and more people, the understanding is going to become deeper. Your soul is going to start being able to show itself, because your soul knows what's going on. You are blocking your soul if you are trying to control things. The more you go and get in touch with your soul and, that mind, body, spirit connection, the more you will find peace. and you'll understand what you really need to be working on. And, you know, we just got to let go of things as they're being tore away, and know that everything that is being tore away is leading us down this path to this beautiful new life, this beautiful new existence that we ourselves will be creating. And we'll be creating it from a healthy perspective, from a perspective where we're not enslaved, where we're not trapped by somebody else's reality. We will be creating the reality that we want. And we've got a whole fucking planet to do it on. So they want to try and tell us that the planet doesn't want us here, and, you know, it's their whatever bullshit campaign, you know, about the Green New Deal, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, climate change bullshit. But really, the planet does want us here, and it does want us to be a part of it. And we do have this opportunity that's coming up, that we will find our connection to all things, to each other, to the planet, to ourselves. So this is really a beautiful time. It's really exciting. So I am definitely going to be putting energy towards, I really hope this is our big event that's going to change everything. And I don't know how big and scary it'll be, you know, but the things that she's talking about were obviously big things. And the other lady, what she was saying 150 years ago or whatever, back in 1835, when what she was talking about with the alignments, that she was saying it's so big and it's so dramatic, but just remember, it's a once in a lifetime alignment. So they're all saying the same kind of thing. You know, this is going to be big and it's going to be dramatic and it's coming in hot. So, you know, be prepared, you know, if you need to go and get food and, you know, wood or whatever you need, in case it is the time period where we are locked into our homes for 10 days with no electricity. I mean, we don't know. There's no telling. We've got so many different people throughout this time where, you know, the war became clear to us, that they have said, you know, all of this whole thing about emergency broadcast, about losing power for 10 days, being cut off from the world. So we don't know what, you know, we don't even know if that's really going to happen, but, you know, keep it in your mind, you know, be prepared for that kind of stuff. And, you know, be prepared to hunker down maybe. You know, it could be a really rough week. It could be a really scary week. So, you know, but, you know, as long as I can keep recording, I'll be recording and telling you what's going on around here. And I was right with the fog, because the illumination disc has come out now, and the fog is going. I mean, it's still super foggy, but I can see light back there. So who knows? I know that they just do whatever their scientific bullshit, you know, like, oh, we'll make it cold this day and then we'll drop this chemical and then we'll make it warm and then that will cause it to do this, you know. That's all they're doing all the fucking time. They have got more control over our environment, over our lives than we want. And, you know, this is them going down. So this is what we want. This is what we want for our future. So try and stay in that kind of happy, you know, kind of state of being. Even when things keep going, you know, crazy and stuff, just keep your eye on the prize. You know, we got to stay present in the moment, but also keep your hope alive. Keep your faith, and know things are going to get better. There is endings, but the new beginning, that's what we're looking forward to. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.